And we're back for another review. I was forgetting most of the day that we had this movie today.
I think a lot of people did. Like, a lot of the employees did.
Oh, okay,
Forget about
yeah.
this.
So, we were talking last night about Captive State. That, like, it was maybe like a week or two ago, which was the first time I had gotten a trailer for that movie. But at least with that, I did eventually see a trailer for the film. Unless you saw any advertisements for this, I did not see any advertisements for this movie.
I did once after you told me, because I do follow this video game company called Her Interactive that does Nancy Drew games on Tumblr, and they've been posting about it. So I
Gotcha.
saw it like a few days ago, but
Positively, I guess, not boycott.
no.
So you are the Nancy Drew expert.
No.
Only the Emma Roberts one.
No, I don't think I saw that one.
No, I never saw it either.
Well, the books I haven't read those since, like, it's been over a decade since I've read those books, so I don't want to say I'm an expert at all, but I am an expert with the games, which apparently a lot of people do play them. I didn't
Yeah, you
realize
were
it.
talking to my cousin about them not too long ago.
Yeah, because she's into it too, and I used
Yeah.
to play them religiously a few years ago. And now I think the company isn't making any more games, or at least it's been I don't know, they fired a lot of people that worked for that company,
Right.
and also the voice actress they fired.
Oh.
So I'm guessing they're not gonna be. I don't know. They've been teasing a game for a long time. So
I only know of those games from Game Grumps. So I
Yeah,
was
no-
waiting this whole movie for Nancy to tenderize the meat.
that's not even the version I played of.
You played the PC
PC.
version?
I played the PC
Okay, I think they
versions.
played the Wii. Like, oh yeah, so as if I didn't already look out of place going to go see this movie. It'd have been bad enough if I just sat there next to you just like, I'm waiting for her to start tenderizing the meat. When is she gonna start tenderizing the meat? Honey, we are surprisingly not the only ones here.
You know, the little girl behind us, like,
I agree, Mom. When's he gonna start tenderizing the meat? So I first heard of this movie like a week ago. This is Nancy Drew and the Hidden Staircase. It's the one where Sophia Lillis from the It remake plays Nancy Drew in the film. And so when we were in Cleveland, I think I had the movie page up to look at times for when Ryan and I went to go see Captain Marvel, and I saw like a poster for this and was like, oh, okay, well that's probably playing like in a city like this, probably playing in like maybe St. Louis or Chicago or something like that. I don't know if this will come to Springfield, but then lo and behold, it did.
Yeah.
Like part of why I was thinking that too was how really cheap the poster for this film is.
yeah, it looks kind of like Harriet the Spy.
Oh, it looks like the poster for this movie looks like it should be wrapped around like a white clamshell case,
Yeah.
like on VHS. It looks like a lazy Photoshop poster you'd see like on a DVD when they didn't for whatever reason use the real poster, like theatrical poster, but only in this case it is the theatrical poster. It looks really quickly put together. And when I advertised this review on our blog section on YouTube earlier, most of the comments were like, is that really the poster? Is this how long did that take them to put together? Like 5 minutes? And so we walked in there to get tickets, and dude inside is just like, yeah, man, I didn't even know this movie was like a thing until I got to work today and saw the poster outside. I thought it was a Fathom event for a second. So
Too bad, because I like Nancy Drew. I want her to have like a really good movie.
I was wondering when the movie started, I was like, man, they really, like, I'm surprised it's in as many theaters as it is. And then I saw executive produced by Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, okay, that might have something to do with it's getting a pretty wide release. But you know what? Like, this movie is nothing really about the movie felt like I should be necessarily watching it in a theater. Like it feels like it's like the hippest Nickelodeon movie of 1998.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like
Yeah.
I was thinking this seems like a movie that would be released in the late 90s.
It looks like it's from the director of Poison Ivy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, so I mean, which I mean was not a Nickelodeon movie, but like they reenact this movie with Sarah Gilbert and Drew Barrymore.
They even have a joke in the movie that was like Big Fat Liar, even though that movie is not the late 90s, that's more
No.
early 2000s, but still, it felt kind of like it was a late 90s, early 2000s
Oh, yeah.
movie. Like, I could totally see myself watching this when I was a kid.
This looks and feels and has the tone of something that would have been out around the time of like the Babysitter's Club movie.
I was thinking that too.
Right? You know?
I was like, this feels like a baby club,
Baby's Club movie.
babies,
Yeah.
Babysitter's Club movie.
Mhm.
Like, I could totally see myself watching this a lot if I was a kid.
Sure, because the movie, like, while the movie's certainly not for me by any stretch of the
Oh,
imagination.
are you sure? Like, you're totally the audience for this.
No, there was no meat tenderizing in the film. I mean, we were both thinking at the beginning, like, she's about to big fat liar this guy. It opens up with her getting revenge on like this bullying school, and she puts blue dye in the shower, and it dyes his skin blue and everything.
And then it starts playing Eiffel 65.
Does it?
No, I'm kidding. No.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know,
your young references are lost on me.
it's from Big Fat Liar. When
Okay.
Paul Giamatti gets dyed blue, they start playing that I'm Blue song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. I'd have to hear it. Maybe I'll
It's a
recognize it.
Europop song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, is it like Blue Man Group?
No.
Blue Oyster Cult? Is that what you mean?
Someone will back me up, I'm sure.
Sure, yeah.
But, you know the I'm Blue, da-ba-dee, da-ba-da.
Oh,
that song. Yeah.
that song. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean now.
Okay.
I legitimately know what you mean now. But while I was sitting there, like, this movie isn't really for me necessarily, other than the fact that I think it might be taking place in Stars Hollow. It looks, she moves from Chicago to a small town. It looks a little bit like, I kept looking for the gazebo in the background because were you doing the
Yeah.
same?
Because once you mentioned it, I started thinking, like,
Yeah.
is it?
I mean, I've seen that in like many other
'Cause there's Warner
things.
Brothers, wasn't it?
The movie, yeah, the movie was Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what lot that is, if it's Warner Brothers
I thought it was Warner
or
Brothers.
Universal. But I mean, it's also I mainly know of it from, even though it's been used in countless things. Like I mainly know of it from Gilmore Girls. Like I instantly think of Stars Hollow whenever I see that set or something that looks like it. So I'm constantly just like looking in the background for the gazebo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the movie, honestly, it's perfectly harmless. Like it's fine. It's light. It's super light. It feels like it's like it would be shown on the Disney Channel around Halloween season. Like this is the TV version of like The House with the Clock on Its Walls that came out last year.
I was thinking of like Goosebumps 2.
Oh, that second one that we went to go see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like I would show this to kids that I take care of. Like they would probably watch it. The only reason I think it's not on Nickelodeon channel is because there are some mature jokes in it. She says "son of a," and it doesn't. She
I
doesn't
mean,
say it.
she's just like son of a biscuit or like they.
No, well, you wouldn't show that in a Nickelodeon channel movie, I wouldn't think.
I grew up with Ren and Stimpy. You could show a lot of Nickelodeon back when I was watching it. I remember Rocco's Modern Life when it had a Deliverance reference. But I mean, that was a different time though.
Yeah.
I grew
Well,
up
the
when you
kids-
can't do that on television.
The movies I've watched with the kids I take care of, I've watched a lot with them,
Yeah.
and they don't have as much like she was talking about. Oh, that's like when they were trying to find people that were working on the great aunt's house. She was like, "Oh, that's my gentleman calling this." or
Oh,
something.
her gentleman callers list.
Yeah,
she was a
then-
burlesque dancer.
And she was a burlesque. Like, there's some jokes that I don't think.
And they're
would-
gambling in one scene.
Not that I think like I'm not. I wouldn't not show that to a child. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's just I don't think he would. have that in a Nickelodeon movie now.
I don't know
maybe.
what Nickelodeon's like nowadays.
At least the movies I've been exposed to that are Nickelodeon now.
I grew up watching Nickelodeon in the 80s and early 90s when they encouraged gambling scenes.
I don't. Just to be clear, I don't watch Nickelodeon movies on my own. This is just for work.
I do.
Um.
No, like it's the actual mystery in itself in the movie, which has to do with Nancy getting like she's with this old lady in this house who's she's a former burlesque dancer, and she thinks the house is haunted, so they're investigating whether or not there's a haunting going on in this house. It's a very easy mystery to put together, and it's not that I'm expecting like Rashomon or anything like that, but I mean it's one of those movies, like the mystery is so kind of light that I'm like, villain. I know what the plot line's gonna be here. I know why this is going on. I'm not entirely sure how they're really making the house look haunted, but then when they explain it, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, that makes sense.
I kind of figured that was what was going to happen.
Well, I knew it was gonna. I didn't know like when the smoke monster from Lost shows up at one point in this movie. I'm like, all right, you're gonna have to explain this one to me, and they do. Like, it's like watching a teen girl version of Boo, a Medea Halloween. Like, but so the mystery, like, I was like, all right, this guy here is clearly gonna turn out to be the villain. They keep bringing up this train company throughout it that wants to build a railroad through the town. Like, well, that's not just going to be an aside they're just throwing away. Clearly, that's going to have something to do with this mystery.
Yeah, he almost runs over Nancy.
That was one of my favorite scenes in this movie because this movie has a villain in it, like the henchman guy in the movie, who's acting like he's not in a kids movie but is in like Last House on the Left. Like, he's far more intense than most of the other actors in this
like
movie.
Almost out of place.
Yeah, kind of. So he's chasing down Nancy in his car like it's Michael Myers trying to run down his niece in Halloween 5.
Down an alleyway, too.
Down this alleyway, gets out, and he's like, you tell your old man that railroad's getting built. And then at the end, like, they've kidnapped the dad and the lady in the house. They have them tied up, and that guy's just straight up like, no, man, they're gonna tell. I'm gonna blow them both away. like even the bad guy is like, whoa, man, you know this is a PG movie, right? And then it is kind of funny when something like that'll happen in the movie, like when the guy gets like, when Nancy just downs hallucinogenic drugs in the guy's mouth at the end. Like, this movie ends where climax picks up. Like,
I was saying that.
Yeah, this guy's having like an acid trip freak out at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really cute. I went to the bathroom afterwards, and the I want to say grandmother and her granddaughter were behind us. They were in the bathroom, and the little girl really liked it.
Yeah, it sounded like the kids in the audience were digging it. There was
one kid.
There was a much older couple in the audience.
Yeah,
too.
there was like an older couple that were maybe like in their 60s.
It was really all generations were at this movie.
Nancy brings us all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think kids would like it. Like, I would totally show this to, like, kids.
Right. It's harmless. Sophia Lillis is really good.
She is. I like her as Nancy.
Yeah.
I kind of like that there's no Ned Nickerson in it.
Oh, okay.
Because that felt, like, I feel like it would have been a little too shoehorned into it. Like, if there was, like, a love interest.
Yeah.
You know?
It felt like they were kind of trying to do that with the deputy in the movie.
But I'm glad they didn't. Like,
yeah, because I kept thinking, like, she's like 16. He's a deputy in the sheriff's office. Like, I was like, I don't think they're actually gonna go a romance route, but they were kind of setting it up that way.
I'm glad they didn't though. It was just like a girl movie, like something like, you know, Babysitter's Club or something like Now and Then, where it's just like...
Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. The one where
they're trying to solve a mystery in that movie.
Were there?
Yeah, Now and Then. That was one of my favorite movies growing up too.
Yeah,
That reminded me of that a lot.
I was trying to remember the name of that earlier when we brought up the Babysitter's Club. In my head, I was like, "What the fuck was that movie with Rosie O'Donnell and all that?" Another Stakeout. That's it. No.
It really felt like a late '90s.
Oh, it's
girl
exactly what
mystery
it feels
movie.
like. And they set it up for like a sequel at the end of the movie.
Yeah, they were talking about Lilac Inn, which is what
Yeah.
kind of an Easter egg.
It was, that was done well in this, where I was watching it going, I don't know if this is going to have a sequel, but granted, it's produced by Ellen DeGeneres, so if she, regardless of how this movie does, if she wants a sequel, she'll probably still make one happen.
I'd like this to be like a really long pilot and then it be like a TV series.
It's another thing, they are making a TV series. I don't know if it's still with, like, the cast of this necessarily, but it's got Freddie Prinze Jr. in it, apparently, hopefully as Nancy. Yeah, when they set it up at the end, they do it as not so much like it's a cliffhanger or anything, just as kind of an in-joke if you catch the reference that they're making. It's less like when we've seen them do that clumsily, like The Darkest Minds or most YA movies, or even Alita did a thing at the end of that. This, it felt like a lot of stuff was wrapped up and there's just kind of a quick reference at the end of the movie.
Yeah. She was like, no, I think I'm done with mysteries for now. I want to paint my nails, talk about boys now, and then it ends with her like, oh, I'm just kidding, wink.
You forget the record scratch that it does. Yeah, I'm like, okay, here's the editing of this movie isn't that great. Like, I mean, it feels like something you should be watching on VHS. Like, it feels like a movie you should just be watching at home. Pop it up on Netflix, rent it or something. Because, yeah, they do, when she does that at the end in the sound, it literally just record scratch. And it's like, zoom in on her. Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation.
I kind of like, that's what I kind of like about the movie, though. Like, I've already mentioned it.
It was a throwback, I'll give it that.
Yeah, it really reminded me of something like Harriet the Spy.
Yeah.
Or, Now and Then. But not, it's more TV quality.
It is, which is why I can't say like, oh yeah, you should just shell out full price tickets to go see this movie. It's, if you do and you take the kids, so it's not like it's not a bad movie. It's not. If you do, it's not like you're gonna leave like, well, I'm just saying, like, it feels more suitable to watch at home. Especially, there are better movies that are playing right now than this, but it's fine. It's
harmless. It was cute. I liked it.
Would you recommend seeing it in the theater?
No. No, I wouldn't. I would watch it at home with like other Nancy Drew fans, like my sister or something.
Yeah.
Or with like the kids I take care of. I would totally show it to them.
I'd like to see someone compare it to, because I haven't seen the Emma Roberts one. I'd like to see someone compare it to that. I do like Emma Roberts.
I think I saw some of it. I think I saw like maybe 30 minutes of it, but that was when it came out, so I don't remember that much of it. And I remember not liking it too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what the reviews of it were like. That came out before I was seeing everything that comes out.
I kind of want them to do like a 70s version of like Nancy Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like the show from the 70s. That one was a lot of fun to watch. And so I'd kind of like to see that. Or like one that's not modern day.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that would be fine. The soundtrack would be good at least.
Yeah.
Make a universe out of it. Bring the Hardy Boys in. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if there was like a post-credit scene in this that sets up the Hardy Boys?
Maybe there was.
Maybe there was. Yeah. Like it does it in like, whatever movies like Marvel, or like when like Kong Skull Island, like the deputy comes in with a file and is like, wait, there are other junior detectives. Zoom in on the Hardy Boys.
Played by one of the Jonas Brothers. And Cole Sprouse.
I hope so, because my fear if they ever made a Hardy Boys movie, it would be Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. You laugh now, you won't when that movie comes out.
Oh my god, yes.
Fuck that shit.
I would love to watch that because it's so stupid. Oh my god, that'd be so bad.
No.
They're acting like they're teenage boys at the same time.
Why not? They do in every other movie that they're in. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Now, if
yeah.
it's like the Sisters Brothers, where it's Joaquin Phoenix and
The really
John C.
gritty,
Reilly,
Hardy
yeah.
Boys.
Oh yeah. That's why one of my favorite movies of all time is Blue Velvet, because it starts out like the Hardy Boys and.
Now, that'd be funny to see. God, what's his name? McLaughlin.
Kyle MacLachlan, yeah.
As one of the Hardy Boys.
Then shit gets real fast. No, it's okay. This bug spray's the new stuff. It doesn't stink.
Oh, yeah.
We should end this because I could quote Blue Velvet for hours. All right,
Anyways,
everyone. Thanks a bunch for watching. Movie was fine. Like, I mean, wait, rent it, watch it on Netflix or something.